write a book? Have
Yeah,
you
it's
found
hard.
that to be true?
It's hard.
Now you're talking to me. Now we're 10 minutes in. I haven't read yet. So now I have a 10-minute audition. I then had a 20-minute experience, and everyone that comes in behind me is like, mine
Well,
was so quick. They couldn't
apparently
possibly.
it didn't work very well.
No, it did
No.
not.
Okay, but you mind fucked everybody in the room.
Yeah, everyone in
Yeah.
the room said he's really funny, but I hope he doesn't talk like that all the time.
Gotcha.
Because if this goes for 6 years, I want to kill him.
Yes, right.
So that's why
Okay.
I now I have a completely new approach to everything, which is just I like to think of myself more as like a sniper. One bullet, one kill. I go in like Aaron Sorkin. You go in, you don't break balls with Aaron Sorkin.
Right,
You go in, you audition.
right.
Very respectful.
I've never done that.
never
I've
auditioned
never
and
done it.
been
I think maybe
respectful.
I shook his hand once. But I do watch his new show, Newsroom.
Great lines in that show.
I like, well, Jeff Daniels is amazing.
My favorite line: every 2 years, there's a revolution in this country, and there's not one policeman in the streets. That blew me away.
Yeah.
To realize that we live in a country where literally every 2 years they throw everyone out on their ass.
Right,
Every 2 years.
right.
Do you read a lot of presidential history?
I don't.
It's my favorite
Oh,
thing.
no kidding.
And any president going out gets so overwhelmed, not with like their legacy, like that's what you're obsessed with in your second term, but the thing like Truman, Nick, all of them, they get obsessed with the peaceful transfer of the keys to the country. And it's not until like 2 days later that they realize they still haven't slept because they can't realize I literally just stood there, a guy took an oath, and then I just drove home. No tanks in the street, no overthrow. Because while you're president, that's all that's happening all over the globe.
Right.
People throwing Molotov cocktails
Right.
through shops. And here it is like, oh, you won. You
Wow.
walk down the street. Then you come up on the podium. I stand next to you. I shake your hand. Here's
And
the
go home.
Here's the secret phone. Have fun. And then you leave. And then you're Harry Truman putting change in the meter back in Missouri.
Wow.
So
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. It's like, when you are on a hit show.
I'll
then-
make believe. Sure.
And then you're not, in a minute, it's over.
Yeah.
And you look around, and it's like that Woody Allen movie that he just made, about Rome, where part of the premise is a guy is famous. They just decided to make him famous. He's famous for nothing. And then they went, oh,
That's
this
prescient.
guy is famous. And then the guy that they made famous just a minute ago
Yeah.
is like, what? Wait a minute, I was the guy.
Yeah.
And now you're all paying attention to that guy. And, it's crazy.
It is, and we
The
live
world
in
is crazy.
the world. That is the name of this podcast. The world is crazy.
Yeah.
Starring Henry Winkler and Jane Mohr. We do live in a culture where everybody's just famous for famous sake.
Oh, man. It's very, not earning something is a terrible thing.
Your generation, I think, is the last of the earners.
You think?
Yeah, I really
That
do.
you realized you had to work for something, that you don't actually just get to be famous because you want to be?
Yeah, because when you were done with the Fonz, you got put on the shelf for a while.
I got put on the shelf.
You got put on the shelf.
As
And
an
these
actor, I got
days-
put on the shelf.
Yeah, and these days I think your name is just in this hopper of a serviceable guy. It's like being a utility infielder in baseball. Like
Right.
he's fine, he can plug a hole, he can fill it up, and then after a while, your name just keeps coming up. But in your generation, like where's Donnie Most? Out, goodbye, so long, Ralph Malph.
But he now directs films.
Yeah,
He's a wonderful guy.
I meant acting being put on
No,
the
no,
shelf.
I understand.
You had to
I was-
really earn it.
I had to fight my way back.
Yeah,
That is
and
true.
that probably because the character you made was so iconic.
Yeah.
That people could only see you as that when you came in.
That is
Even
true.
though
I
you were
was
a nice Jewish
typecast.
boy from Manhattan,
Right.
playing an Italian guy from Milwaukee.
Right.
And so it's sadly reflects on the people that actually hire in Hollywood that they don't see you as the kind man that you probably are.
Well,
in real life.
television comes into your home, and if you're convincing, then that's who you become.
When did
but-
Chachi come on board? Let's really cut through this bullshit.
Scott Baio came on when I think he was 12.
12?
Yeah.
And was this a
And
discussion
he's just starting a new show, as a matter of fact, right now.
What's that show called?
I don't know.
Joni really loves Chachi.
really, really loves him.
But when he came in, did you go, oh, this is great. This will be fun for the show?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, Ron Howard called me when I was at the beginning of the 7th season and said, I'm not coming back. And I thought my life was over. I really did.
Of course.
And I'm telling you that Scott Baio stepped right up to the plate and hit a home run. He was he had wonderful timing, a wonderful acting partner, and we carried on.
Where did Richie go in the script?
He went to become a director.
I mean, in the script.
Oh,
where did he go?
he went. I think he went to California to be a writer.
They should have sent him off to Vietnam.
Yeah, he wanted to be a
Big shot.
journalist.
A journalist?
Mm-hmm.
And what about Pinky Tuscadero? When did
I
she come
hated Pinky. I didn't like Pinky.
It was so stupid that she came in and they had their little high
Yeah, it was
signs.
terrible.
And
But I loved Leather, Susie Quattro.
yeah,
She
Leather
worked.
Tuscadero and Pinky Tuscadero.
Yes, Leather.
Really a
Pun-
more suitable name for like a female tag team in the WWE
Yes, right.
than on one of the hottest
wrestlers.
shows in the world.
Yeah.
Ever. Like it
But-
was like MASH and you guys.
Yeah, but you know that Gary is Italian, so there were a lot of Italian people.
Marshall. Sounds
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, but it was Marshalletti or Marsha.
Oh, really?
something- Yeah, something like that.
You, I wanted to ask you about being dyslexic because I don't know what it's like, and a lot of the
What is
listeners
it like?
do.
I can't read off the page. I can't do math. I can't spell. I get confused, you know.
So as a
sometimes.
kid in school,
Yeah, I
Did you
did
just-
very poorly.
did you just think you were less intelligent?
I thought I was stupid.
I'm being
I was
completely
told I
serious.
was stupid.
Right.
The
When you-
teachers told me I was stupid.
When you look at a page,
Yes.
is it just a jumbled mess?
No, I see the words, but my eyes don't track while I'm reading. I just can't. And if I have to read out loud for a producer, I made it up. I memorized as much as I could, and I made up the rest. I ad-libbed it. And they said, "Oh, but you're not reading what we wrote." And I said, "I'm giving you the essence of the character."
I'm coloring outside the lines,
Yeah.
but when I'm done, you'll know it's a horse.
That's right. And when I'm done and I get the job, I'll memorize every word.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
does someone read this to you once you have
No.
a job? Like when
No.
you're on Royal Pains and you get your script.
I read it over and over and over again, and then as we rehearse it starts to go in and I memorize it.
And as a script supervisor, are you asking
Watches
what's the line?
me like a hawk.
But if you can't track the words with your eyes, how are you suddenly able to track the words with your eyes while you're memorizing?
Because I read it very slowly.
Okay.
And I'm not reading it out loud to anybody. I'm just on my own time.
And so your retention must be has to be exceptional.
My retention at a moment in
It's been
time
forced to be
was
exceptional.
fantastic.
It's been forced to be that way
Yes.
because of dyslexia.
Yes, I'm down now to 57% retention.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know. That's what it is.
It's just something I made
I
up.
just made it up, but basically that's true.
So you got
People's names are now an anathema.
I'm Jay.
Wow, it's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Thank you very much.
And don't. Oh, I had a shirt on earlier with writing on it. I was like, just don't even look at it. Just,
No.
Just eyeball to eyeball.
Yeah, right.
You probably got the biggest influx of new fans, more than you ever anticipated, by being on the Jim Rome radio show.
No kidding. Is that true?
Wouldn't you agree?
Well, it was amazing. I've never actually been on that show.
Yeah.
I got a phone call from a friend of mine who said, they're talking about you now. You must call the Jim Rome show. Here's the number.
Now, you said to me earlier what they were talking about. I missed this entire
They
episode
were
of the
talking about when the Fonz jumped the shark.
Right.
Did he say something to Potsy?
Now, what is the answer?
The answer was, I said, I'm going to do it for you.
To Jim?
To Potsy.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're such a good actor. I thought you were actually just talking to me right now.
No.
I thought you said, I'm going to do it for you.
I'm gonna do
Meaning,
it for
Jay,
you.
I'm going to tell you the line right now.
No, that's what he said to Potsy.
So that was the
Fonz.
debate on the Jim
That
Rome
was,
show.
and
was
then
whether or
I
not-
called them from a Staples in Toronto and couldn't get through.
How does Henry Winkler convince the people at Staples, can I use your phones? I need to
No,
call.
called them on my cell phone.
Oh, you walked in.
Made an
Staples to get what's up.
international call to call only to be told, no, you're not. No, I'm
Probably
Henry.
Jason Stewart, the
How are
guy
you?
that answered the phone.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, I really am. I was just told to call your show because I jumped the shark. It's me. And then he said, I'm going to ask you some questions. And if you can answer them, then I'll know it's you. I went, okay, knock yourself out. I'm here by the paper clips. And he did. He asked me, and I finally got on with Jim.
you remember what the questions were to prove that you're you?
I have no idea. I was so pissed off.
Yeah,
I was so
you're not walking around going, "How do I get on
really,
sports talk radio in the morning in Los
They
Angeles?"
said call. You wanted me to call. I'm calling. Hello. But anyway, I then had a wonderful talk with Jim.
Yeah.
And I then won the best moment of that year. And I was
Fonz Choice Awards, I think
yeah.
it's called.
And I said I would like a statue. I would like to win something, not just that you say it.
Yeah.
And eventually, I got a beautiful wooden carved bobblehead of Jim Rome.
That's
that
tremendous.
it's in my office.
I love it.
Yeah.
And did people really did get fired up when you called in? Like, because I check on Twitter and I follow Jim and Jason Stewart and Kyle Brand, and you going on that show got more of a Twitter reaction than a World Series. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Than a World Series MVP.
I didn't know that, and I'm very
You
proud.
really didn't know
no,
that? You didn't
I
feel
didn't know
any-
because at that time I was not on Twitter,
Um.
so I didn't know. So I had no idea.
Well, I can tell you for a fact, my man, you won. You won the Clones
won.
Choice Award for the
I did. It was
for the
great.
greatest thing.
I'm very proud.
It's a fun show.
Yeah.
Your book that you wrote with Lynn Oliver. You guys are New York Times best-selling authors. Is Ghost Buddy like a perennial?
No, it's brand new. Ghost Buddy is
I'm
a
holding
brand new.
two.
Yes, it's a brand new series. The latest one came out July 2nd.
So your best-selling authors from the Hank Zipser
From the Hank
series.
Zipser was on the New York Times bestseller list in 2 positions.
That's the best.
But
How long were you on? And don't
uh,
say you don't know, because I know you.
I do
ingrained it.
know.
I know you know.
2 weeks,
2 weeks.
That's it.
Where'd you chart?
and then that I don't remember.
Okay.
I have that in my office. I'll have to call you.
It's a big deal.
All I cared about was that I was on the New York Times bestseller list, and Ghost Buddy is the story of a little boy named Billy Broccoli, moves into a brand new house,
Best.
and he finds an irresponsible ghost in his closet. It's good.
Irresponsible ghost.
Yeah, kids from 7 to 12 read these books, and it's really the relationship between Richie and the Fonz.
Really?
The ghost sounds like, hey, you could call me a ghost, you could call me a phantom. That works really good on like Halloween. Call me a ghoul. Do not, however, call me a banshee. That really chaps my britches, and I think it's rude.
Is the long-term goal to? I mean, this should be a feature film, Ghost Buddy.
Well,
Why wouldn't it be?
To sell? My long-term goal is to sell a lot of books.
All right.
I want,
But if somebody said,
but we've sold over 4 million of Hank Zipser.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're the best.
Yeah.
You're really prolific. You do a lot of different stuff.
I do
And to
because
write
I'm like petrified
Of not.
being irrelevant.
But then you get a job. See, I
Yes.
did in between seasons 1 and 2 of Gary Unmarried. I
Right.
was terrified that it wasn't going to get picked
Right.
up. I booked an enormous stand-up tour.
Right.
I was all over the place.
Right.
I remember being in Spokane, Washington, a third of the way through the tour, and I got told that we got season 2, and I immediately went, "What am I doing in Spokane, Washington? I have a sitcom. This is absurd." But this is never burdensome
well,
to you.
let me ask you a question. Do you have fun on tour?
I love it.
Okay.
There's 11 minutes of every hour that is truly special. And by special,
Because
I mean,
you're on, because...
I'm always on.
Well, no, why
stage.
are those 11 minutes more special
Because
than the other
it's a good
49?
question, Henry. And I always wanted to write a book, Zen and the Art of Stand-Up Comedy.
Right, so you will.
Because there's moments every night that I do comedy.
Are these 11 consecutive moments or just 11
Yeah,
minutes
there's
that
11
happen here and there?
Usually it's consecutive and it's bedlam and it's fascinating to me because the audience is hearing it at the exact same time I'm hearing it.
Right.
And so it's a tag to a bit where I'll say a bit about, say, if I don't know, I'll just say a bit, for example, and then I'll tag the bit. But
Right.
it was never in my mind. It just came out of my mouth. And they go crazy, and I start giggling because it was really funny. And then I'll tag that, and that'll make me go in another direction. And I'll just speak for 5 minutes about this thing that was never in my mind.
So you're making it up. So you're on like a tightrope.
Yes.
You're on a high wire.
But as the Buddhists would say, without the awareness of being on a tightrope, where everything else sort of melts away, the tightrope is going on stage every night and saying, how am I going to herd cats
Right.
for an hour and
Right.
keep everybody engaged.
Right.
That's the tightrope. But when you are no longer aware of the tightrope and you're just walking left and right, and they're coming with you, and there's no net, and it's not till you're done and you say goodnight and get to the dressing room, and you look at somebody like maybe the opening act, and you go, "What was that whole chunk in the middle? Like, what was I even saying?" Because it was just
Yeah,
like
right.
a match being
Wow, I'll tell you, that's amazing that you can
that's
do
what's
that.
fascinating
Yeah.
to me, and that's why I don't like guys that have like an act.